It's your 716 Uncle P from the world famous podcast, Men of a Certain Age. Please share and subscribe.
Peace and welcome into the latest episode of Men of a Certain Age, The Soup. As always, I am Les. I got my man Panero with me and my man UH. Peace to the gods, man. What's up, fellas? How y'all?
What's good, man? Can't complain, man. Another beautiful day in the city of Atlanta, or East Point, a beautiful day in the city of East Point, right outside Atlanta. Just enjoying it, man. Ready to talk to y'all boys, get it in, and then go enjoy my Cinco de Mayo.
That's what it is. You're going to get out there and get you a couple of Dasakis.
Yes, sir.
And going back a little bit. Panero, what's up with you, my G? How was your week, Lord?
Peace to my guys, man. You know how the week is in the town. You know what I mean? It was nice out. We had nice weather. Then all of a sudden it started raining. I was like, man, as long as this rain turned into snow, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, let me send a shout out to Dennis Wilson, man. Thank you for giving people their flowers while they're still here, man. He honored my man Damon Rand recently.
D-Rand. Shout out to D-Rand.
You know what I'm saying? He honored Will Houghton, who's a Buffalo legend, Friday recently. And Trevor Ruffin also honored Friday. Now, he does these things on Friday nights. I'm going to have to get at him. I work Friday nights. I can't attend, man. I'd like to attend. You know what I mean? So change the date from Men of a Certain Age to Saturday night.
That's what's up. And we always salute those who's giving their propers to the ones who deserve their propers. You know what I mean? Once again, welcome into the soup. Please share, subscribe, and comment down low. We're still pushing to get to 250 members by Memorial Day. So smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and come on in, man, because without y'all, there is no us. This was a kind of low-key week in some instances with the culture this week, man. We got, in this particular episode of the soup, man, we got an appearance from Roland Martin. We got an appearance from this Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Bibi Netanyahu. He is making an appearance on the soup. We here on the soup, we are conscious, and we are paying attention to everything that's going on in the world and what's going on right here in the United States. And as of late, man, there's been a lot of ruckus on the campuses throughout the United States. And it has to do with what's been going on over in Garza with the Israelis and the Palestinians over there. And on this particular episode, we're going to dive into that, man. And we're going to have our little points of views and our little conversation with regards to that. Because again, as we move towards November, all of this is going to play a part in the election, what we're going to talk about here today, man. So what I want to do first and foremost, man, is I want to play this clip by Mr. Prime Minister himself, Mr. Netanyahu, Bibi, as his friends call him, as he addresses the Israelis and also the Israeli Americans here in the U.S. So let's jump into that real quick.
America's college campuses is a whip. Anti-Semitic can over leading universities. They call for the annihilation of Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty. This is reminiscent of what happened in German universities in the 1930s. It's unconscionable. It has to be stopped. It has to be condemned, and condemned unequivocally. But that's not what happened. The response of several university presidents was shameful. Now, fortunately, state, local, federal officials, many of them have responded differently, but there has to be more. More has to be done. It has to be done not only because they attack Israel, that's bad enough. Not only because they want to kill Jews wherever they are, that's bad enough.
Please.
It's also, when you listen to them, it's also because they say not only death to Israel, death to the Jews, but death to America. And this tells us that there's an anti-Semitic surge here that has terrible consequences. We see this exponential rise of anti-Semitism throughout America and throughout Western societies as Israel tries to defend itself against genocidal terrorists who hide behind civilians. Yet it is Israel that is falsely accused of genocide, Israel that is falsely accused of starvation and all sundry war crimes. It's all one big lie, but that's not new. We've seen in history that anti-Semitic attacks were always preceded by vilification and slander. Lies that were cast against the Jewish people that are unbelievable, yet people believed them. And what is important now is for all of us who are interested and cherish our values and our civilization to stand up together and to say enough is enough. We have to stop anti-Semitism because anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. It always precedes larger conflagrations that engulf the entire world. So I ask all of you, Jews and non-Jews alike, who are concerned with our common future and our common values, to do one thing: stand up, speak up, be counted. Stop anti-Semitism now.
Yeah, for those of you who are not aware, that is Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel at this point in time. Now, this guy is a real shady character. Bibi, as we're going to call him here, is basically the Trump of Israel right now as the prime. He's in line with Putin and he's in line with Trump. So those are two things that you want to keep in the back of your mind, that he's moving with these other two individuals in a like-minded way. When you see these protests and different things on the campuses throughout the United States, and they say anti-Semitism, right?
It's weird to me, this topic, and to be an anti-Semite, to be anti-Jew, but who are the true Jews? You know what I'm saying? The thing about Zionism is that it's a political movement. It's not a religion, and people get that confused. You know what I mean? Like European Jews coming to the Middle East and taking over, it's like saying, it's difficult. That's why I wanted to talk to you guys about it. It's like colonization. You know what I'm saying? You're pushing people out and claiming that it's your homeland, but you're not really from there. You know what I'm saying? So if you're upset, say when you bring up, say, anti-Semitic topics like you just brought up, Fro, what is it? And people say, look how many Jews that Hitler killed, which was an atrocity. But the Jews won't go after Germany. They come after Palestine. Why are you not going after Germany if Hitler killed so many of your people? Why are you not going after Germany? You're coming after Palestine. It's like, I come from a Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael type of mindset. So I know about my history, and I know that the actual Jews are from Africa. The Jewish, you know what I'm saying, come from Europe and try to take over, which is colonization. And this is why these kids are protesting. Like, nowadays, this generation of college students are knowledgeable. They understand colonization, they understand racism, and what they're doing is they're protesting. They have an opportunity to protest things that they couldn't protest in the past, like slavery. And you know what I'm saying? That's why in 2020 they were knocking down the Confederate statues and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So now is their opportunity to be like, you know what, this isn't right. You pushing people out of their homeland and claiming it's yours, and then Netanyahu hits you with the spin that, you know what I'm saying, that it's anti-Semitic, when it's really you're anti-Palestine, anti the people that are of that land. So it's like saying, are you proud to be an American? Yes. Okay, but if a Native American comes to you and say, are you proud to be American? You have a different mind because you've taken their land that they were, you know what I'm saying, that they were already here. So it's just a difficult topic. I love talking to you gentlemen about it because I can actually learn something from you when we talk about things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to hear your perspective.
It is foxy because anti-Semitism, because it's not only hate, it's not only just hate against Jews or saying something slanderous about Jews. It could be just saying, in accordance, you like Trump, for example, he says he doesn't want black people counting his money. He wants Jews with little hats counting their money. That is considered anti-Semitic too. You know, when you're saying, oh, Jews control all the money, that's anti-Semitic. So it doesn't have to be just negative. Right. It could be, in our eyes, something that you wouldn't think is slanderous, but they see it as that. When you see the protests that are going on, Colombia, that I saw they even had a protest at UB. Out in Texas, man. And we're going to get to that situation that happened at Ole Miss with those rednecks down there. Don, Israel and Palestine.
people have to understand that the whole Israel-Palestine conflict literally goes back to, I think, 500 AD or something like that.
1897. Yeah.
No, it's like 500. No, the original. The reason why these boys got beef in the original is because the Jews and the new Muslims, because remember, Muslims were founded after Judaism and Christianity. They invited them to a dinner. The Jews end up getting slaughtered by all the Muslims, and the beef's been on since then. You know what I mean? It's really, literally, probably a 15-year-old conflict, 1500-year-old conflict, which is the origination of it. I tend not to get too caught up in it one way or another because the core roots of it are religious.
Right.
But the problem with people have chosen to ignore is, like you said, Zionism isn't a religion. Zionism is a theology that is basically it would be akin to white supremacy. They believe that they should have their land for their people and they should be sovereign over everything because they are who they are. So Zionism in generally only is followed by European Jews descent. It's not a theory that extends to all people who follow Judaism, because we all know the original Jews, and they actually acknowledge themselves are from Ethiopia, places like that, and they actually came and rescued them and brought them to Israel when they were having different conflicts down there. But as far as the campuses are concerned, because students have the ability to just hop on something and not just get the standard opinion. They can hop on line quickly and do a couple of Googles and they can form an opinion rather quickly. And if you form an opinion, you can see that the Palestinians are being treated unjustly in this matter, that it is beyond victory. They're bombing schools, they're bombing universities, they're bombing hospitals, man. They're literally, and he mentioned genocide. And I'm tripping because I'm like, you are committing genocide against, you're mentioning genocide when it comes to people that you're actually committing genocide against currently.
The crazy thing is, I'm sorry to cut you. The crazy thing is, what you're saying can be perceived as anti-Semitic.
Well, it can be. People can say it's anti-Semitic, but the bottom line is wrong. If you're doing wrong, you're doing wrong. I don't care if you red, black, green, purple, or pink. You know what I'm saying? If you're wrong, and these guys are wrong in this situation, they are truly have savage tendencies towards these people. Now, another thing we need to understand is that Judaism is completely different from Christianity, right? In Christianity, the philosophy is what? Turn the other cheek. That's basically what it boils down to, right? And obviously some religious things that go with that. But in Judaism, it's Old Testament, so it's what? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So that's something that you have to understand. That's the psychology that they operate at. So if we may look at it as obviously savage and inhumane and genocidal, but they're just looking at it from the point of view whereas historically they've always taken an issue for revenge for things that were done upon them. But like you said, why aren't they attacking Germany if it's all like that? But they they hunted down all the Nazis they possibly could find. That's one thing. I don't care if you're 99, 108, they're gonna try to find you. So I obviously am on, if I'm gonna pick a side in this one, I'm gonna pick the side of the Palestinians. But I do understand the Zionist and Jewish philosophy as far as this is concerned as well.
It's no question about it. And I'm sure our people, please share, subscribe, and comment down low. They're like, why the hell are y'all talking about this? And the reason why we're talking about this and bringing this up is because this correlates to what's going to go down here in November. And my whole thing is this: Netanyahu, Bibi, is working, in my opinion, with Trump, along with Putin, in order to sabotage, to make it so Trump has a better chance of getting back into the presidency. My thing is, and Joe Biden finally this week came out and said something with regards to the protests. He can't get caught up in sending the National Guard in on these campuses and different things of that.
That's not what he wants to do.
Yeah, he cannot get caught up into that, any type of movement like that. And that's what Bibi wants, and that's the reason why he was pouring the fire on it, saying that it was anti-Semitic and the different things were going on. And in most cases, these people are protesting peacefully. In the case of Colombia, they were protesting and wanting them to divest in Israel because they built some type of temple or something where it was not going to be accessible to the people from Garza, from the Palestinians over there. So that's why that whole protest jumped off from the beginning. You have to watch how they cover it on the news.
Yeah.
You know,
They had one down here as well. They had one on Emory, which is basically in a Jewish community. They had one on Emory's campus, slamming professors and people getting arrested and yada, yada, and so on and so forth. But student movements have always been the core of change in this country over the past 50 years. We definitely got to pay attention to that, like you say, for the election, man. That's real.
What's tricky about this is when they were protesting Ukraine and Russia, you didn't see a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the tricky part about it. Now that it's Israeli and the connection between like Netanyahu and Trump, now there's people that are protesting peacefully, but then now there's some insurgents. Where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? So you got to really be careful. And like you said, you got to read between the lines, man. It's a lot going on with this, man.
Yeah, because the press will put their own spin on it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're pro-Israeli. I don't have a dog in the fight at either way. Myself, it's peace. Let's all have peace. But you have to pay attention to how the press is covering it, because they will slant it, whereas the Jewish side are the ones that's being oppressed and being hurt and harmed. The students can't go to class and different things of that nature. But
it's a lot of the Jewish actual students that are protesting.
Exactly. That's not what they're covering. They want to go with their own spin. So we have a contributor, a chef who usually shows up on the soup and adds a little something to the brew. And this week again, it is Roland Martin, and Roland is bringing the press on their coverage of the war in Gaza. So let's go ahead and check out Roland and see what he had to say real quick.
I was talking about this commentary that Dana Bash did at CNN, which was like unhinged. And I'm trying to understand one, she's a political correspondent. Two, she's an anchor. When you listen to this commentary that she gives, how did this get past standards and practices at CNN? I'm gonna play some of this, so check this out.
Politics, I'm Dana Bash. We start with destruction, violence, and hate on college campuses across the country. This was the scene just a short while ago at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Police clashing with protesters. 12 people were arrested. Hours earlier, protests rocked the University of Arizona, where campus police used chemical irritant munitions to remove protesters. Around the same time at UCLA, pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian groups were attacking each other, hurling all kinds.
Let me stop right there. First of all, that's a lie.
Word.
Israeli protesters attacked pro-Palestinian. The pro-Palestinian protesters were defending themselves. The video is undeniable. They were not attacking each other. The pro-Palestinian protesters were defending themselves after they were attacked by the pro-Israel demonstrators. That's called a fact. And it shouldn't be confused. Okay, go back to it.
Objects, a wood pallet, fireworks, parking cones, even a scooter. And before that, the NYPD was able to clear Columbia University after protesters barricaded themselves inside a campus building. 300 people were arrested at Columbia and City College of New York.
See right here. So let me show you what they just did there. You're discussing Columbia, saying protesters barricaded themselves. Now we know that it actually were outsiders who took over the building.
Right.
44 at Columbia. The rest were at City College. Here's the difference. Columbia is a private university. It's a closed campus. City is a public university. It's wide open. But when you put the two together, oh my God, 300 arrests. What sounds different? 300 at Columbia and City College, or 44 at Columbia and more than 250 at City College. but you show video of Columbia. Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
But it is unclear how many were actually students. New York City Mayor Eric Adams warned this morning that professional outside agitators are getting involved.
Okay, let's stop right here. So here's a problem when you go on the air, when you say it's unclear how many were outside agitators. So why are you quoting a number? If anybody on my staff says, I think there were 30 people arrested.
You guys get the drift of where Roland was going at this. You have to hold the press accountable for everything, especially when they're not actually telling the whole truth, but they're telling their truth. You know, so at the end of the day, if you're going to tell the story, let's please tell the whole story. And also, I want to clear something up, gentlemen. September 1952, West Germany paid Israel a sum of 3 billion marks, around 714 million in American dollars. I brought that up that they did go after Germany for reparations. Bring that to the light because the things that we talk about, we try to talk about it accurately as we possibly can. But yeah, UH, again, outlets like CNN, this reporter Dana Bash slanting the coverage. So if you were just to tune in to the Dana Bash show and get your information from her, you're going to believe that, again, that the pro-Palestinian were the aggressors in this. And truly, that was not the case. Now, again, this goes back to my conspiracy thoughts on Bibi. As Mayor Adams, and we'll talk a little bit about Mayor Adams, stated that these dudes who barricaded themselves in this particular building weren't even students. They were agitators, professionals in other terms, that do this. What goes through your mind?
It's just different that we hear it being explained away like that. But again, as D says, follow the money. CNN is owned by who? Time Warner Brothers is what? A Jewish company. So it is what it is. They're always going to give a pro-Israeli spin, regardless if they're Zionists or not. At least lean towards the sympathizers. But I'm not surprised, man. These guys, that's why the internet is so dope. And that's why I'm proud of these students for taking the time and putting the action in. I'm not really down with the outside agitator thing because they're always going to spin that. They did that during Black Lives Matter. They did that during the attack on the Capitol. They're always going to throw that outside agitation in one way or another. It's good that students can actually, like I say, do their own research and make the determination that they're standing on the right side of history, which looks like that's what they're doing. Like I said, I'm not anti-Semitic or anything like that. I'm anti-Zionist because I completely and totally understand the difference.
What's your thoughts on that whole media and the propaganda that's out here, P?
Yeah, I've always read between the lines. Especially when I went to school and I was able to take some courses, political science courses, and get some understanding of what was going on. And I never really trusted media outlets because of the money. You know what I'm saying? They have to say certain things to make sure that they appease certain people. It's not difficult to convey. It's just they're going to put a spin on it. Like I mentioned sensationalism before. They're going to put a spin on everything to make the general public think a certain way. And if you're thinking that the general public is following and thinking a certain way and they're not doing their research, you're going to be misinformed, man. And you're going to choose certain things that don't align with what you actually need. It's just, it's difficult, but you have to do your research. You know, here on Men of a Certain Age, we always encourage you, do your research before you have an opinion on things, you know.
So
you take a side.
My bad, Lord. So as we continue this conversation, and we've stated some of the schools that have had the protests: Columbia, the University of Texas, UB, Emory, there, UCLA, out in Cali. But we have not seen any of this on the HBCUs. Do you think we as Black people we owe it to ourselves to pay attention what's going on over in Garza?
We got our own problems.
That's
So-
simple, huh?
So basically, nah, we shouldn't even give a damn.
I can't say we shouldn't give a damn, but on our campuses, we've got bigger fish to fry. The lack of money. Like, you have to understand that political issues, and I hate to say this, but little stupid things aren't high on the priority of Black students, because the majority of them are doing what? Trying to survive. They're eating ramen noodles. They trying to figure out where to get financial aid. They really don't have the time and or the resources to protest like that. We've got our own problems. So a lot of times you'll find that when you do see Black students at things like that, because remember, there's a protest supposed to be going on for the girls in Iran. There are things that are happening in the world that we can't be a part of, or we can't really show our dedication to, because we're in constant survival mode. So it's not wrong for HBCUs not to be involved. It's all good. You know what I mean? How many? It's just we got bigger fish to fry.
I get
in
you.
my opinion.
And Lord, what about you? What you say? Do you say that we should say, yeah, that's them, or should you be informed? What you think, Lord?
I think we should care. The Black colleges should care. I think this is like school days. I think what it is, you have to realize who's funding you. You know what I'm saying? And if the government is doing a lot of the funding for the Black colleges, the same government that's funding Israel, you may not want to say anything. You may not want to put your foot in that, because if you say, they might cut your funding.
Which they have.
Yeah, don't do that. So where you support makes a big difference. So a private school like Columbia, they don't not worried about government funding, but HBCUs get government funding.
Right.
And if you want your funding, you may want to keep quiet about Israel, because that we fund pretty much everything they do over there. Like you said, they got American dollars in Germany. Where do you think the American dollars came from?
Right.
America.
Our tax money. You know what I'm saying? Some things are better left unsaid. And plus, like Don said, we got our own issues over here. We can care, but we're dealing with still colonialism here with us. So it's tough. It's a tough situation.
So yeah, it's always life experiences, right?
Yeah.
With us, we are men of a certain age. I got this job, and I was working at this job in the call center, and it was a diverse. And I'm like trying to interact and build with certain people and different things. So it happened to be a Palestinian that I was working with. And we kicking in, finding out certain things. And I asked him, just out of curiosity, I was like, yo, what would be worse if your sister brought home a brother, or your sister brought home a European? You know what he said?
European brother, like dude.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? When he said that reaffirmed, even then, it reaffirms now how they perceive us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They perceive us. These Europeans have done such a good job of painting all of us a certain way, that everybody across the waters, across the globe, see us all as, the hood cat.
The hood monolith, yeah.
Not to say that we haven't done a bang up job of painting ourselves in that light ourselves, but with the help and the guidance of them. But that when that happened, when he gave me that, it made me sit back in my chair a little bit, like, I was like, okay, now I gotta watch you too. You know what I mean? Because I know how you see me.
And that goes back to what we said last week. Remember, you was talking about, damn, I just had it and just lost it. Oh, you talking about the African chick who said she never heard anything about Americans before she got about Black Americans.
Right.
I told you it was a lie. It's perpetuated and perpetrated all over the globe, man. So I don't want to hear that you just got here and people called you a dirtiness or African booty scratch or what the case. No, you had a basis.
Preconceived notion of us.
Yeah, you had a preconceived notion of us before you even came here and formed the hate that hate me. So, man, fuck out of here, yo.
As we continue on, and this all ties in to, again, voting, and make sure your vote counts, because you don't want to put the wrong people in power or put the wrong people back in power. You know what I mean? This whole thing that we doing is about enlightenment, man. You know what I mean? And it's our jobs as elders to try to enlighten and bring light to those who may not be getting light and can't get it. You know what I'm saying? So as we continue with this particular episode of The Soup, man, I want to share this cut from Mr. Donald Trump. And the reason why I want to play this is because, again, it's about voting. So I'm going to share this cut, Mr. Agent Orange or 45, and then we're going to come back and do what we do.
I will implement strong ideological screening of all immigrants. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you don't like our religion, which a lot of them don't, if you
What's
Our religion? We got national religion now?
then we don't want you in our country, and you are not.
Wow.
So let's listen again.
I will implement strong ideological screening of all immigrants. If you hate America,
Ideological.
want to abolish Israel, if you don't like our religion, which a lot of us
ideological
does with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in.
Okay, that was 45 up there. All right. And before we build on this, man, I want to go to an interview with my man, Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi, he had on Keith Ellison, who is the Attorney General for the great state of Minnesota. He's the AG, the great state of Minnesota. He was the Attorney General when over the George Floyd case, and they sent that racist ass bastard Derek Chauvin to jail for killing George Floyd. So he's interviewing Keith Ellison, and he's interviewing the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. So I want to share this with y'all, and then we're going to come back and do what we do. I'm gonna play Trump again one more time, and then I'm gonna go to the interview.
Will implement strong ideological screening of all immigrants. If you hate
ideological.
you want to abolish Israel, if you don't like our religion, which a lot of them don't, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in. I will implement strong.
So who is he talking about when he's talking about your religion? If you don't like our religion, who could he be talking about? Or who is that? Who he could be talking about? All right. So we got the mayor of Dearborn, Hamad, and we also, as I said, we have the Attorney General, Mr. Keith Ellison, and they were interviewed by Mehdi. So let me go ahead and set this.
Abdullah Hamoud, Keith Ellison, thank you both for joining me on Mehdi Unfiltered.
We have to have the backbone to hold those who commit war crimes accountable, and President Biden has demonstrated that he's not able to do this at this point in time.
One of two people is going to be the president of the United States, and that's just reality.
The choice is between Trump and Biden. So if it's not Biden, it has to be Trump. Are you okay with that?
What I will not accept is this idea that fear-mongering is what's supposed to drive, especially young people and Democrats, to the ballot, having to plug your nose and vote for Biden just because Trump is on the other side of the ticket.
I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just saying that 1 + 1 = 2. This is the situation in front of us.
Are you saying lesser of two evils? Because people get very upset with that phrase these days.
I know people don't want to vote for lesser two evils. I don't want to vote for lesser than two evils. But in life, that is the choice we often are stuck with.
As of today, are you voting for Joe Biden?
I have not pledged my vote to any candidate. I think no candidate has earned my vote, and I think it's incumbent upon the candidate seeking the highest office in this world to earn the votes of the constituents he seeks to serve.
Rewind.
Joe Biden.
I have not pledged my vote to any candidate. I think no candidate has earned my vote, and I think it's incumbent upon the candidate seeking the highest office in this world to earn the votes of the constituents he seeks.
I will implement strong ideological screening of all immigrants. If you hate America,
Ideological.
if you want to abolish it, if you
I'm going to say that every time.
which a lot of them don't, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you are not getting in, right?
So P, how could that mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, now which is a really highly populated Muslim town, how could he sit up there on camera in front of all of his constituents, in front of all of us, and fix his face and say, I'm not prepared to say that Joe Biden has my vote? Pete.
Obviously, he's compromised. For him to sit there and listen to Trump say that in a country that has religious freedoms, meaning the freedom to not be religious if you don't want to be, to say that you can't get in if you don't like our religion. And first of all, what is our religion anyway? Do we have a national religion? You know what I'm saying? In some instance, I guess he's saying that he may have people that are Trump supporters somewhere in his back pocket. I don't know. He don't want to come right out and say it, but I don't understand how somebody can be against their own self-interest 100% the way he is without coming out and saying that he'd vote for Biden. There's must be some type of backlash for him to support Biden, you know. But and it, like you said, like we always say, you're gonna jump out of your square, you know what I'm saying, and not say that you're gonna support Biden just because you don't want to say you don't want to say you're supporting Trump against his own interest. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Don, the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. What?
That's wild, man. Remember, poly is many, right? Ticks are bloodsuckers. So many bloodsuckers. It's many bloodsuckers. You know what I mean? When it comes to that game, I just go back to what we always discuss is white Christian nationalism. That's a dog whistle. That's not even a dog whistle. Him basically saying that if his ideological, oh Lord, test when Americans clearly has a separation of church and state.
Clearly.
Also, I watched MSNBC this week, and they had a Christian evangelist preacher on there talking about how the Trump Bible / Constitution.
I saw that.
You saw that. How he said that was blasphemy. How he said that's evil, and that people are basically stupid for falling for an idol. So that's what he's preying on. He's preying on those people, like I say, who don't have a knowledge of civics, who really feel because of all the bullshit that they're watching on Fox News and other places and in their internet bubbles that they're losing something or that they've lost something. Sure, it's more Mexicans and more Black people in influential positions. Great. That's the way the country works. But come on, you guys have had a 300-year start on everybody. Literally on everybody. What's 10 to 15 years or even 50 years, speaking of Black people, of us making strides? It's strange to me how people talk about humanity and Christianity and all these type of things, but they don't have any sense of it or they don't practice it.
Or no empathy whatsoever of others.
Yeah. No empathy, no sympathy whatsoever. Yeah. They'll talk about it. It'll be a hot topic and so on and so forth. But because Jesus was born in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem's in Israel, and that's where the Jews are, then when they're Christians, then it's all right for them to bomb the Muslims.
Right.
But they don't realize that Muhammad ascended from the Golden Dome. So it's if you don't have enough understanding of all the things that are involved with the topic, like we said with Stephen A. last week, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane and make sure that you become educated enough to make a knowledgeable vote, because really voting does matter. And these people show you that how much voting matters, because a lot of people are hip to the hip talk.
And see, and that's the reason why, I wanted to show that clip to y'all. And this whole thing coincides. This is the reason why we started out with the Garza war, is because it all coincides to what's going to happen here in November. Here is the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, basically saying, no, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. And the reason why he's going to hold his vote is because of what's going on over in Garza between Israel. That's the main reason why they're saying that they can't vote for Joe Biden. And then, like I said, you got Bibi over there pouring gasoline on the fire and then pouring gasoline on it here in the United States, which, again, at the end of the day is going to have an adverse effect to Joe Biden. Okay, so those people say we're not going to vote for Joe Biden, but we're not going to vote for Trump. We're just not going to vote. That's going to hurt
Biden.
That's who that's going to hurt at the end of the day.
Trump voters are going to vote no matter what. They don't care. They're going to vote.
They're going to vote. And at the end of the day, it's, this man is standing up there telling you once again, bareface. He
Pretty
robbed
much.
the bank bareface. He telling you
Right.
straight up and down 6 o'clock. We don't want anybody that's coming to the United States that is not Christian. Basically, our religion. You have to love our religion and our ideologies.
I told you, fuck around, let them win. Easter gonna be mandatory next year. I'm telling you.
So it's again, y'all, as always, it's super important to you to vote and make sure that your friend is voting. All of them are voting. Because if we don't, we're going to get this fool who's talking about what he's not going to allow and what he's going to do. And that's the last thing that we want in a situation is to have Agent Orange back in the White House.
Real quick on that. Right now, there's a case in front of the Supreme Court whether the president has immunity for everything right now on the court that he decided. Basically, the ramifications are huge. You know what I mean? If he wins this case, then that means he can kill his political enemies. He's literally said it.
Right.
That goes up to him to kill his political enemies. Then nothing is off the table. That everything is a go. So we really need to be concerned because that means that he could bump me off. He might be like, you know what? These boys from men of a certain age, like, share, and subscribe.
Us off.
Us. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like I said, these boys from men of a certain age, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Been talking mad shit about me for the last 9 months. These boys gotta go. And there's nothing we can do about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, people don't understand how important this is more important than, I know we're gonna talk about it later, but Meek Mill versus Kendrick, versus Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? And Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's way more.
Way more.
It's definitely more important than that. Your grandkids, damn it. So yeah, man, what I want to do is this, man. You mentioned the pastor from Charlotte who was airing out Trump from his pulpit, man. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and give a little light to that gap real quick.
Yeah, he let him have it.
Some of you bring politics into the church. You think that politics is spiritual stuff. Politics is of this world. You think it's your duty to be political about this, that, and the other. No, your duty is to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Don't be talking to me about my spiritual responsibility to vote. I don't have a spiritual responsibility to vote. I have a civic privilege. Don't be telling me that voting is spiritual.
Right.
See, that's what happens when you don't read and pray. When you don't read and pray, you say, wow, there's a Bible out now that includes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Isn't that wonderful? No, it's disgusting. It's blasphemous. It's a ploy. Are you kidding me? Some of you are so encouraged by that. Let me tell you something. The gospel is not an American gospel. It is the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
But Pastor, I bought the Bible. Really? You're telling me that you're encouraged because someone took a government, U.S. Constitution, a document that says we are of the people, by the people, and for the people. The people. The people.
The people.
And you have put it beside the Word of God, which is eternal, unchanging, which says, of him, by him, through him, to him, from him are all things, and you're going to put those together and be happy about it? God forbid. Now, you can get mad if you want to, but I'm going to tell you something. If you glory in that kind of thing, you don't have a prayer life. If you glory in that kind of mess, political mess, you do not know what the Word of God says. I'm gonna rear back.
So on this Good Sunday, we got the word from from the good Reverend there. My question to you is, how many of his flock, of his congregation, was mad at him when the sermon was over?
That's a good question.
It's an excellent question.
If he dropped it in North Carolina, North Carolina was the home of the largest Klan population in the United States at one point in the later half, probably the middle of the 20th century. So for him to really drop it like that, man, I really can appreciate and respect it a whole lot. I know how these guys are staunch about their religion. So it's just a matter of whether they are more aligned and have more allegiance to Trump or to their God, or is Trump the new God?
He had his Popeye moment. That's all I can stand, that I can't stand no more.
Yeah,
you know,
I couldn't take it.
once he started peddling the Bible,
that was it.
That was the straw that broke his back.
Him and Lee Greenwood.
Talk to me, Lord, about the pastor there in North Click, Lord.
The pastor went in hard, and the pastor might want to watch his back too. You know, hopefully he don't lose any congregation over that. But he told the truth. There's a clear separation between church and state. You know what I'm saying? And you combining it in the Bible, come on, man. It's just a ploy. It's a political ploy, and he don't want his congregation falling for it. And I'm glad he said something about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing, man. So hopefully his congregation follows him and their religion, and don't follow, like Don said, their new God. Hopefully not their new God, Agent Orange.
That's a fact, man. And hopefully more pastors saw this word and continue and try to sprinkle some of that into their sermons in front of their congregation, because Trump is steadily pimping all of y'all. So we're done with that chapter. Don's said he's going out to celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
5, baby, 5-5.
And he's going to go get him a couple of Dasakis and be the greatest man alive one time. You know,
shout out to my homegirl, Kiwi Mommy. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Mommy.
Happy birthday, Kiwi.
Happy birthday.
Many more. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, man, we are now, once this Cleveland Magic game finally ends, we are now into round 2 of the NBA playoffs, man. Round 1 was a doozy. Shout out to those Knickerbockers from doing what they doing and shutting down Philly and hurting boys' feelings and having Gilly going crazy and cussing and slamming his hat and being mad and everything, man. But shout out, man, for the first game of round 2, man, was a good game last night between the Nuggets
and
the T-Wolves, because our man, as we call him, P, what we call him?
Ant Live number 5.
There it is. Ant Live, baby, is letting it be known that he here. And if you ain't down with it, you soon will be down with it. So, Don, when you pulled up to the bar last night and got yourself situated and got your eyes on the game, give it to me.
I loved it, man. I like to see a young boy going at these dudes, you know what I mean? Because we need some young boys. It's some nice Ja, you know what I'm saying? Now Ja, I'm gonna back up, but now Ja Morant is seeing how things could have been for him. You know what I mean? Had he not been so thugged out. You know what I'm saying? Look at the attention that Anthony Edwards is getting. Look at the attention he's getting now. You know what I'm saying? They had Ja lined up to be the face of the league. He wanna be thugged out. He wanna be NBA young boy, literally. It's good to see Ant. He was from a good family, from Georgia. He used to play at the UGA. Shouts out to the dogs every time. And he's out there having fun with it, man. It's good to see that energy out there. Somebody who's not trying to be a friend. He can still be cool with you, but he's still going at you. Yo, I'm not. And he just like, yo, if he could do that to KD and still say he's my man, that shows that he's got respect, knowledge, and you know what? He's got tenacity that we need to see. I'm looking forward to watching him play. Him, Tyler Halliburton, Ja Morant when he get it together. There's a lot of young boys that's out there, man, that go hard, man. So I'm excited. Great game last night. Gave them boys 40. I love the fact that he got Jokic up out of it, because I can't stand Jokic's shmoo game. Jokic remind me of a big ass shmoo in the paint, man. Remember shmoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he remind me of a shmoo in the paint. It's undeniable he got skills, though, right? But no, man, I don't like shmoo. I never liked shmoo. I don't want to see Shmoo. Shmoo got my boys up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it's even more animosity towards the kid. You know what I mean? But I love to see Ant. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the other series too with Kyrie and Shai. That's gonna be amazing, amazing basketball, man. That's the only thing I like about basketball. That's really, I think, the only thing that basketball really has over the NFL is the fact that it's just duration. You know what I mean? And NFL, obviously, you can say it's more, the stakes are higher on every game, but basketball, just the duration of it is amazing. Watching somebody play against somebody, figure somebody out, coaches adjust. The NBA, fantastic.
So, Lord, what about you? What was your thoughts on the game last night?
I was loving it. I like how people say 90s basketball is dead and the players of the 90s couldn't compete and blase, splee, this, that, and the other. Like a lot of these young kids, they get on social media and was, yo, what was this garbage y'all was doing back in the 90s? Yo, Ant Live number 5, tell me that ain't a 90s player, man.
Man.
Hack you down, square up right in front of you, turn around jump shot. He made the Nuggets look like a normal squad yesterday.
He did.
He made them look regular. You know what I'm saying? He had a team in the first half. They could not do nothing with this kid, man. 22 years old. He got the body of a, you know what I'm saying? He's strong. He's knowledgeable of the game. He can shoot it. Obviously, if he drive by you, he gonna bang it on you, or he'll just lay it up if he want to. You know what I'm saying? And what you were saying about Jokic, man. Yo, dude is awkward, man, but he gets buckets, man.
Yeah, he does.
He will bust your ass,
man. But the thing about the Wolves, they throwing bodies at him, though. You know what I'm saying? So he getting this defender, that defender. So there was one time where he got the ball and Naz Reid hurry up and ran up on him and made him travel. You know what I'm saying? So
that was pivotal.
You got to throw bodies at him because he is going to murder you in his own slow ass way. Yeah, no doubt. You gotta love the league, man.
Big honey.
It's a lot of different players that are nice. You know what I'm saying? And Canadian bacon wasn't baking yesterday. That's another reason why they
check this out, man. Back when we had the sports show, we dubbed Anthony Edwards Ant Live because we were not calling a black man Ant-Man just because he was chocolate. So we adopted that. We not calling that man Ant-Man. So we went with Ant Live. But I'm gonna give it up to my favorite, who was the first person. I still don't agree, but he was the first person to coin the term Jordan in '84. Let's go.
84 Jordan, boy. You hear me?
You're going too far.
Listen, Lord. He's not watching the game. Wow. That's how I know you're not watching the games. I said 84, nigga. I'm watching how he coming through the lane. If Cat wasn't on this team, he'll average 30-something. You hear what I'm saying to you? He'll get 15 more shots.
Year of another team. 84
I'm a savant too.
Give me like Drexler 83 or something.
Oh, please.
Now, you being disrespectful. You talking about 84. Go back and look at it. Look at this young boy. This boy coming through he turned the corner. If you ain't there, he throwing you in. Boy, you ain't watching the game.
Hell no,
see, you ain't watching the game.
Are you saying
like I'm watching the game?
So you saying
okay. Give it, come on.
So you saying the way he dunking?
I'm talking about how he coming in the lane.
Okay.
Man, he turning the corner with intent. He turned the corner and the head up. Man, if you ain't right there, he pogoing your ass.
Even if you are there.
Man, listen. Go look at 84 Jordan, boy. 84 Jordan was doing the whole, listen, come on. Nah. 84 Jordan?
No, 89 Jordan.
I said 84 Jordan. He just came out of college, Lord.
I know his rookie year.
That's what I'm saying. You see how he was coming through. You remember that playground joke when he was coming through and all them kids in the playground
I had that poster on my wall.
That's how Anthony Edwards was coming through the lane, bro.
Yeah, man. It was Ticket who coined that 84 Jordan. I don't heard people say 89. I don't heard people say 90. Now, I don't agree because 84 Jordan was way rawer than what Ant Live. Ant Live is that dude. But again, Black Mike, man. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say Black Mike. It's decent. But I'm not giving him MJ. Even young Mike. And I understood what Kev was saying. He was saying the raw Mike. He wasn't the defined, finished MJ. He was baby Mike. I get it. And yeah, to a certain extent. But again, Mike is coming to MSG with them joints on, man, and doing the cradle.
Spectacular night for the Bulls as Jordan has come up with another steal.
Michael Jordan puts on.
You're going to see Michael Jordan play the passing lane. Now he's going to say, well, here it is, showtime.
Ant-Man wasn't quite doing that, man. Ant Live by himself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, what you think about what Ticket had to say there, Don?
First of all, I don't like Paul Pierce on the mic. Paul Pierce didn't like him as a player. He went to Kansas, didn't like him then.
Why though? Why though?
I just don't like Paul Pierce.
Tell the truth why you really don't like Paul. Is it because?
You know why.
I know why. But continue.
And I would never be a Boston Celtics fan under any circumstances, whatever. Anyways, Ant-Man is a different man is a whole different type of dude. His game is amazing. I do see where people will compare him to Jordan, but Jordan took really 4 years to become relevant in the league as far as being a playoff contender, being seriously a playoff contender until they got to Detroit. Those Cleveland highlights are nice, but when they got to Detroit, until they could beat Detroit, he really was just a highlight film. Everybody was like, oh, can he score? He can score, he can do all this, that, and the other, but can he get over the hump? Like LeBron had to face at one time or another. So I look at Anthony as probably he'll probably get to a championship in maybe the next 2 years just because of how their team is. And I love Mike Conley at the point. And Jay McDaniels is nice. They have a really good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the finals this year. I really wouldn't be. But I don't see him entering the Jordan-esque atmosphere until he wins a championship. Then we can talk about that.
Lord, what you think about what Ticket had to say?
I love KG's enthusiasm, man. You could tell he just loved ball, man.
Yeah, he do.
And sometimes you put expectations on players just because you see certain things that's really actually not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Ant Live is that guy, though. He's a baller. You know what I'm saying? He has some of the attributes of an 84 Jordan. But again, we don't want to take it too far. You know what I'm saying? Jordan was something just completely alien to the league. He was playing above the rim when dudes were still, you know what I'm saying, under the rim doing this, that. And he was always flying around everywhere. Now you got competition now at Ant Live where everyone's flying, but he's just a little above what they're doing. So it's a little far-fetched, but I like it. I just like the enthusiasm of KG. I like the fact that he giving you Ant Live see that he like ready. Yeah, I'm the 84 Jordan. I'm trying to kill everybody in front of me. And I love that, man. And plus, like Don said, he respects the other players at the same time. Man, KG, my favorite player. Get on the court. I'm trying to kill you right now. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man. I love that about Ant Live.
Don think he's slick though. You know what I mean? That's a little JJ-ism with Don because he kind of player hating on MJ with his little comments. You know what I mean? Because he a bean dude, so he got a little animosity towards MJ because he a bean dude. So you gotta take a shot when Don started talking about MJ because it's slanted, it's jaded. You know what I'm saying?
You see how I compare him to the bean. You see how I said that about him being a bean.
Yeah, I know but you still took a shot at the man. You know what I'm saying? For no reason, but it's all good.
Don, I don't like Paul Pierce either, to be honest with you, Don.
Thank you.
For some reason, the man looked like he smelled funny, man.
He looked like a sucker, yo. He looked like a sucker, like a nigga you would hang out with.
He looked like he don't wash his face. He just go out there and just, you know what I'm saying? He just go out there and play, man.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked like a dude I would not hang around. I could call him a sucker because I don't know the man.
Shout out to Paul Pierce, man.
He looked like a dude I would hang around,
man.
Shout out to Truth, man.
Shout out to the Truth, man.
You know what I mean? Bucket getter.
Yeah.
Quintessential bucket getter, man. You know what I mean? As we continue on this hotter soup, as we continue on, we cannot go any further than stopping right here, man. And we got to talk about what's been going on in the hip hop culture for the last 2 weeks or so. With the Drake and Kendrick Lamar and the J. Cole, I'm tapping out, and the Rick Ross throwing shots and then sitting on the sidelines agitating. This whole battle, P, do you like it? Do you love it? Can you just say, or would you just say, yeah?
As a man of a certain age, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I'm a hip hop dude, so I obviously like a nice a battle. But when it comes to hip hop, you have to decipher between hip hop and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things when we listen to rap battles when we were coming up, the battles weren't to make people dance. You know what I'm saying? The battles were about lyricism, innuendos, you know what I'm saying things that you might have to think about, yo, did he just really just say that? Double entendres, things of that nature. So it's getting weird with this shit because you got a hip hop artist, which is nothing wrong with it. That's how you get your bread. And then you got a real hip hop artist. And J. Cole was smart to me. He was like, you know what? Let me get out of this because it's about to get crazy. And Kendrick is he's something different, man. You know what I'm saying? To me, you kind of don't want to fuck with him because he just, I don't know I know you a Drake fan, Don, but when he came with that 116, what was it?
616.
616. And then you looked at everything. I think I sent it to you what the symbolism of 616 was, where it's Father's Day in Canada, and it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just wow, man. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that a birthday? And it's just now he's going into something. Then Drake came back. Did you hear the Drake response?
The Grand Family, you know, he came back with the I heard them all. Like
with the Family Matters.
Yeah,
now, Drake came hard with it, but I don't know who wrote it. Then Kendrick come back and hit him with the Graham family. That's just a lot for a man of a certain age, man. I don't know how much I could take.
Then he hit him with another joint. Just hit him with another joint yesterday.
Yeah. And just went in on some old pedophile shit. I don't know, B. It's a lot, man.
Hate it, love it, or meh?
I love it. I'm not really a big hip hop head, but these days, at least with the new stuff. But I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see these boys out there throwing bars at each other. I think that I picked Drake in the beginning because I seen what Drake did to Meek Mill, but it's good to see that Kendrick Lamar, even after he took a couple weeks off, is really coming out barrels loaded, and he's busting at Drake hard. Yo, these dudes is going hard at each other. They going, pause, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get caught up in no nonsense. But no, these dudes is going at each other hard, man, and I love it, man. I love to see the competition because, like I said, hip hop is a contact sport. It's about time that these dudes get at each other, but we also have to remember it is just entertainment, and obviously it's a smoke signal or distraction from the real things that are happening out here. But for what it's worth, it's definitely good to see that hip hop has a little bit of bite into it.
Me being a man of a certain age like y'all, I don't have no problem being the get off my lawn dude. You know what I mean? Get off my lawn. And I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. I've never heard a entire Kendrick Lamar album. I've never heard an entire Drake album. So with that being said, the battle don't interest me because I have no interest in them. I've listened to the music, and I'd say mid. So all of the ones that I've heard, and I think I've heard all of them. Out of all the ones that you've heard, which one is classic, Don?
I don't think any of them are classic. It's hip hop. You know,
Ether.
Mean out of all of the joints.
Yeah,
I thought you meant out of all the recent ones.
All the recent ones.
You know, I'm saying
he's saying period, fam.
Oh,
right.
Period.
Which one of those songs that these diss albums that they made turned out to be classic? Because you think of the Ether, you think of the Bridge Is Over, you think of the Bitch in You, Hit 'Em Up, Tupac. No, that was the Bitch in You was common. That's what I'm saying. Which one of those songs is a classic?
No Vaseline with Ice Cube too. I don't think anything new. I expected back to back. I expected Drake to win just because back to back literally is a new school classic. Like they'll play it in the club. The lyrics are tight. He doesn't perform in a concert anymore. He killed Meek Mill. He ended Meek Mill's career. You know what I mean?
He's saying you saying period, bro.
No, I'm saying these joints.
But these new joints, nah, I don't see none of them being classic.
Kendrick and Drake. Which one of those joints is a classic jam? Because it should, out of this battle, it should be a classic joint. Now, even though if you think about the battles between the Locks and what's G Unit, those was like tapes, right? And those freestyles were like classic joints, right? What I'm saying is, which one of those songs that they've just put out within the last 2 weeks that would you say is a classic?
Not near none.
And I'm sure they have classic music that you would say was a classic jam between the two of them, right? But what I'm saying is, out of these diss tracks, which one of those tracks would you say, man, that's that joint right there? That's that heat.
Not a one. I like the Drake first joint. That was kind of hard, but none of them is classics. Like you say, it's hip hop, it's rap. It's rap, hip hop, or whatever you want to call it. They're still both basically distributed by the same company. So in the end, follow the dollar. The companies are winning, not either one of those artists.
So do you think it was strategically placed?
I think it was. You really can't be unsure about anything these days when it comes to making money. So I wouldn't be surprised, but hey, it's good. It's good for, like I said, it's good for hip hop. Hip hop is a contact sport.
I think just listening to them, obviously, it's something personal between them, because it's been a lot of personal barbs, and not to say that that never happened in hip hop, because it has, with the man talking about you're not a father to your child and all this other type stuff. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
Eat the grams.
Pedophile shit going on, man.
Yeah,
That's all
that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of personal. It's something personal
it's ugly
between them two that bubbled up, and they had to get it out. And I don't know how the streaming works. You know what I'm saying? I listen to the shits on YouTube.
Me too. The thing about it, Fro, is this, you know how when we came up, you had to wait for a response. You had to go to the studio, blase sleep, man. They responded in the next 10 minutes.
That's a fact.
It's crazy. So like you were asking earlier about, I don't think any of them are like classic, but the closest to being in that category to me is Meet the Grams, because he just went in on how Drake is like infiltrating hip hop. And it's like he's a colonist or something. He seems like he goes to each person that's popping and takes on a part of their identity. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being himself.
Swagger.
You know? Yeah, it's just that Kendrick is a lyricist, man. I know you probably, like you said, you've never listened to any of his stuff, but
no, I'm not saying that I've never
like his whole, like a full album.
Yeah, I've never heard a whole album of neither one of them. And I ain't ashamed to say it. You know, and I think I've heard enough of their work to figure out.
Yeah.
Because if it was like that and they was moving me like that, I would have got under it on all the hip hop head and all this other type shit, you know. Sometimes the hip hop head miss. I might have missed on those. You know what I'm saying?
What happened, yo, man? I don't know what happened, man. My stream just literally went down for no reason.
You know, it's that bootleg Wi-Fi you got from your neighbors. That's
what. No, man, I don't know what happened. So I'm sitting here, my joint just froze up on me. I don't know what's that all about.
Yeah, no, it's good for hip hop, man. Let's keep it on YouTube or Wax or whatever else. Keep it on the internet. Don't let it go any further than that. Keep it musical.
Yeah, keep it musical. Before we get out of here, man, before we wrap up this latest and the greatest episode of The Soup, man, as we were talking about hip hop, it's only right, man, that we discuss what happened with Jim in the motherfucking airport in Florida, man. Did y'all see the actual footage of
Jim Jones? No, I ain't seen it.
Man, let me give y'all this.
Is he putting them paws on somebody? Oh, Jim, you 50 out here fighting niggas.
At the escalator, arrivals, lower level.
Yo, Jim dive slam this nigga. Watch him slam him.
Oh!
You hear the motherfucker screaming, ow! 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 I know you screaming ow because them escalator stairs ain't no joke. Check it out.
No give.
Let's see him. He getting him in the mode to suplex his ass.
Oh.
Peep my man with the hat. You see, he got his luggage. I'm not going down that way. I'm going back up.
At the escalator, arrivals, lower level.
Now, man, look, how dude must have called Jim a nigga, man. Because look at these old white dudes, man. He had to call Jim a nigga. Look at him.
That's what Jim said. He said he called him a nigga.
I can't see no other reason for him to
What other
spaz
reason
out.
Jim gonna snap like this on these old white dudes, man?
Yeah, it's gotta be the N-word jumping off.
And then dude gonna try to fight and he weigh 110.
Okay. He got his viral moment.
My man, like, I'm not going down. I'm going back up.
Bro.
You see your man put his glasses back on? Watch him put his specs back on. He can't see for real, man. Who put their glasses back on to fight, yo?
Got to see where I'm punching.
That motherfucker said, oh. Jim hit the new motherfucker with, are you crazy?
Bro.
Yo.
At the escalator, arrivals, lower level. Hey!
You're jumping?
It's two of them against me.
You screaming at him. It's 2 against 1.
They jumping me.
Sit down.
He assaulted me. He assaulted me. They both assaulted me.
Go sit down.
They both assaulted me.
Jim had that boy leaking. You see when he got up, he was leaking, right?
They must have said, yo, you ain't on it is what it is. Why you ain't on there?
Is that what it was? Cam don't fuck with you. That's what he hit him with. Cam don't fuck with you.
Cam ain't fucking with you. What's good?
P.
Push that button.
You turn the corner and Jones scraping on the escalator. What you gonna do, man? You gonna pull your horn out or what?
Nah, man. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm a man of a certain age. I got a family. I'm picking up my luggage and moving to the side. Keep going. I am too old. I can't even help you, Jim. My knee hurt from cutting the grass. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I might have to go get the proper authorities for you, bro. I can't help you.
You turn the corner and Jim on the escalator scraping. What you gonna do?
Nah, I don't want no parts of Jim or the escalator.
I don't want no problems, right?
I'm too old. Jim too old to be out there tossing boys around like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Jim. But like you said, it had to be a higher ER going on someplace for him to react in that fashion. I'm still wilding out here. Jim's still wearing 50 chains, still making songs, still talking, still want to beat boys. Hey, that's Jim.
Jones, a real one. He was dolo too. Man, I'm through the floor by my damn self. But you said what? Oh, you got to get your back dirty.
Yeah. His chains. Jim keep at least 10 chains on him. The chains is like a spirit or something.
Man, Jim Jones, can we all just get along, man? You know what I'm saying?
They must have hit them, like you said, with the hard ER.
Yeah. That's what I saw, man. I was like, yo, they had to call Jim. They had to call him a ninja real hard, like for him to snap like that.
Porch monkey, something wild and exotic, a old name. You know what I'm saying?
They just royally disrespect. They know how them Euros do, especially they done had a couple on the plane.
In the lobby too. They ready.
Couple in the lounge, feeling good. You know, it's fucking nigger.
Exactly.
Yeah, porch monkey.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this was the latest and the greatest episode of The Soup, man. Before we wrap up, Lord, you know what they want before we go, man. So go ahead and give it to them, man. Lay it on them, man.
Yo, listen, have an attitude of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Use what you have to help others, because on your last day on this earth, you can't take it with you. That's from Uncle P and Men of a Certain Age right there, man.
So for the people in the back, one more time, Lord.
Have an attitude of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Use what you have to help others, because on your last day on earth, you can't take it with you. You know what I'm saying? Extend a hand. Each one teach one. Men of a Certain Age.
That's peace. That's peace. UH, you got anything you want to get off your chest before we bounce up out of here?
Yeah, man. Just real quick, I want to talk about the summertime, man. This is my favorite time of the year. Buffalo dudes hustle for the summertime. If you're from Buffalo, you always talk about in the wintertime, listen, I'm stacking my bread so I can get ready for the summertime and get this new car, get this new whatever. That's our mentality. You know what I mean? It's the way we grew up. I enjoy Atlanta because Atlanta has an extended summertime. We generally have it from April, basically end of April to about October. It was pretty much summertime down here. So I love that. 6 months of it. But I've noticed that when summer does come around, man, there's a heightened rate of violence, right? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just here. I don't know if it's, I can understand in Buffalo because the wintertime you really ain't seeing nobody, ain't nobody really moving around. Everybody got on snowsuits. You can't tell who is who. I can understand it then. But here, man, I just hate to see that as the temperatures get hotter, temperatures get shorter. And I just really want us all to be safe, man, and want us all to think about the repercussions and the decisions that we make and the things and the way we interact with people, because we don't know how bad somebody's day is. We don't know if they're on the edge. We don't know what happened to them. It's best to approach every situation to be kind and or nice. Obviously, don't be no punk, but be kind and or nice, because you never know what somebody's going through. And with this temperature, with this proliferation of firearms, with these attitudes that are out here, man, I just want everybody to be safe, man, and be sound and see you on the fall time. You know what I mean? Shouts out to a safe summer to everybody, and let's get it and enjoy ourselves.
That's word right there,
Yes,
Don.
man. Good words of encouragement, my G.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I mean? This was the latest and the greatest episode of The Soup. Again, for P, Don, I'm Les. It's the same old soup. We just reheating it.